Hey guys, gwyned here. Gonna be bringing you a practice match today using my new Turtle Power Izzet deck. Been practicing against Dimir Mill. Built this deck specifically to try to beat it, so hope you enjoyed watching. Looks like in this case I won the dice roll, and I will go ahead and choose to play first. And let's take a look at my opener. Definitely this is a keep. Basic plan here will just be to get these Cyclopses online and then strike out with Lightning Strike when it's convenient to do so. So at this point I don't actually know that I'm playing against Dimir Mill yet, but I obviously figured it out very quickly. Here I draw into a third Cyclops, which is definitely an interesting... typically that's not exactly what you want to see, because having a lot of creatures is not real good for this particular game plan, but in this case I think I can make it work. Obviously going to hold on to the Lightning Strike here. Going to go ahead and run out one of these Cyclopses. We'll probably hit an Essence Scatter, which I do, but obviously I have a lot of them left, so no real worries there. And my opponent here goes ahead and gets the Pilfered Plans out, which is great for me because it means that I know the coast is clear. So I'll go ahead and run out a Cyclops here. Pass the turn back. My opponent now could have the ability to kill it with Grizzly Spectacle. He doesn't want to show me if he has it or not. So here I'm going to go ahead and just cast Lightning Strike. One of the things I like about this thing is now see he has a choice. If he has a counter and if he has both a counter and a removal spell in hand, he has to choose. He can counter this Lightning Strike to save himself 3 damage, but he's still going to take 4 from the Cyclops. Or he can destroy the Cyclops, but he's still going to take 3 from Lightning Strike. So the Cyclops really works well in this particular matchup. In this case, he just goes ahead and lets both resolve for now. So obviously swing in here for 4, and my opponent does in fact have the Grizzly Spectacle to go ahead and remove it. That is fine though, and so here I'll just cast the next Cyclops. Oh, I'm sorry, I went ahead and cast the Razor Tip to go ahead and hit him for a point of damage. I could see the Cyclops just going ahead and getting the Cyclops in there, even though I know that it won't be able to... I don't have any way of activating yet. Still might not be a bad thing to get on the board. Here he's going to go ahead and use his Archaeomancer, and I assume he's going to get back the Pilfered Plans, which is indeed what he does, and draw an Essence Scatter exactly 1 turn too late. So we'll go ahead and play out the Cyclops here, ping him for 1, pass the turn back, leaving Essence Scatter up. Back on my opponent's turn, he does go ahead and use the Pilfered Plans, and I draw into Annihilating Fire, which is really good for me. I can go ahead and cast that on my opponent, dropping him to 12, and then swing in with the Cyclops, and here he doesn't have enough mana untapped, but he will go ahead and just chump with the Archaeomancer, which is fine. I will ping him for 1, and hold up Essence Scatter once again. So my opponent does nothing on his turn. Here I can go ahead and cast Inspiration, again leaving Essence Scatter up. He could have a counter spell for it, but looks like he doesn't want to counter it at this point. So I draw another Razor Tip Whip and another Lightning Strike, which is definitely good for me. Swing in for 4 here, and looks like he's got another Grizzly Spectacle, and that is fine with me. So those are gone, but I've got enough left in hand that I don't think I'm going to have too much trouble here. So back on his turn, he's going to go ahead and cast a Thassa's Bounty, which puts him at 8 cards, so I don't want to do anything yet because I'd rather him have to discard. We'll just go ahead and... Oh, I went ahead and fired off the Lightning Strike. I think it would have been better there. Just go ahead and whip. He's untapped, but getting this off as fast as possible I think would have been a better play there. He goes ahead and discards the Pharika's Cure. Wise choice for him, obviously, since I won't need it. And I'll just go ahead and ping him down to 6, and again keep holding up Essence Scatter, just because that is another way for him to get back in this with enough other things. But he's just going to cast Thassa's Bounty again, and now has to discard twice. That's one of the things you can do against him, is you don't play a lot of cards, and especially if they are having to cast stuff, they're going to end up with a lot of cards in their hand, and they'll have to discard. And you can actually get quite a bit of value that way. So here, drawn to a Cancel, which is definitely good. Can hold up both Cancel and Essence Scatter here. He's got a Crypt Incursion, but in this case I am able to cancel it with the Cancel I just drew, and hold up Essence Scatter as well. Here my opponent has an Archaeomancer, which I'm going to go ahead and Essence Scatter, but unfortunately my opponent has a Psychic Strike, so the Archaeomancer is going to resolve, and now he's able, while I'm still tapped out, to go ahead and fire off the Crypt Incursion. Now the nice thing is he's only going to get, I think, 9 life out of this. Or maybe I've drawn more than that. Okay, so he gains quite a bit more. I actually had all 4 Cyclopses plus 2 Skull Cleavers in there. So, which, with 22 cards left isn't that unreasonable, but that's, 6 out of the 8 creatures I have in the deck. So that's a little unfortunate. It bumps him back up to 22. But certainly not out of this yet. Drawn to a Skull Cleaver here, which is good. I know he's tapped out. So here I'll be able to get in for quite a bit of damage unless he chumps with the Archaeomancer, which is in fact what he does, but it means the Minotaur stays around, and I'll just obviously don't have any cards in hand, so just start pinging him. Opponent doesn't have anything here, so I get to hit him for 4 unless he's got a removal spell, which he doesn't. See, this is where him having to discard these Pharika Cures earlier really works out very well, because he's gotten several of them out of his hand thinking they weren't live draws. But in fact, with the Minotaur, I'm now able to get in for 4 a turn, which is definitely very nice for me. And I'll just hold on to this Shock as well as the Unknown Shore. There's no reason to show him I have it in my hand. So here again, I'm going to be able to drop him to 8, and I've got 4 more damage in hand. So if I successfully hit him with everything here, that will be the end of that. So he does have a Pharika's Cure here, which I will go ahead and cancel just to try to keep from losing the life, but he has a cancel for my cancel. And since I know he's played a lot of cards, I'll just go ahead and shock him here down to 2. And he does go back up to 4, but he's all I need now is 2 turns to hit him with these Razor Tips. So now he's got to have an answer to them. Aren't any answers in the deck, and that is how the game ended. So that was game 1. I'll be back in a minute for game 2.